it's interesting to see how variable parents' response are to having new children. But being a new parent, and I was a new parent, and I can relate to what they're going through. But yeah, you worry about every little thing with the first child. It's typical, very typical. So I don't think there's anything you can do to change that. That's the way it is, and I think that it's obviously our species is like that so that we can perpetuate. Until you learn kind of what you're doing, you worry about every little thing. And so that's typical. There are some guidelines and there are some common questions that come up over and over. And for the first few weeks, a lot of parents have this this notion that, hey, I don't really know what I'm doing. But they really do know what they're doing. Their gut is usually right. We're available here to answer their questions. I have a lot of questions around breastfeeding. I'm fortunate in that I have 2 nurses that know a lot about breastfeeding, so I can direct those questions that way. But they're the same questions that really I anticipate and try to give some guidance on. Sleeping, for instance, that's something I'm asked every single visit with new parents about sleeping. What's typical? So yeah, there is a new parent kind of syndrome, but it's a protective thing. It's a very normal thing and something we're used to dealing with. One thing I do tell new parents is, if possible, during those first days and weeks when the baby is not on any type of schedule, it is terrific if you can get some out-of-town help or in-town help from your extended family. And that's a very big benefit, because I think that that is something that I remember being a new parent and being surprised at thinking something like, wow, people really do this. This has been the way it's been since the beginning of time, since people were on earth, that their babies kept them up and they got no sleep. And I guess it has been. And so it's kind of surprising how difficult it is during those first few days and weeks before the baby is really on any schedule and needs to be fed every 2 to 3 hours. It's difficult. So we anticipate those things, and a lot of what we do is just reassurance that yes, that is normal. That's a huge part of my job.